Welcome back to Guitar Discoveries. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, something every guitarist should know about. It's called Nashville tuning. Stick with me. All right, so what is Nashville tuning? You might have heard it called a high-strung guitar. Sometimes you hear Nashville tuning, sometimes you hear high string. It's all the same thing pretty much. When a guitar uses Nashville tuning, it's the standard tuning E, A, D, G, B, E. The difference is that the bottom four strings, meaning the thickest, the bass strings basically, are replaced with strings tuned an octave higher. Now, how do you accomplish that? Well, D'Addario actually makes a set of strings for Nashville tuning. You can go and buy those. Or you can take a 12-string set and you can use the lighter strings, the lighter 6 from that set. And that's going to work just as well. In fact, I prefer to do that with a 12-string set because you can then get coated strings which aren't available in a Nashville tuning set. And I'm a big fan of coated strings. You can check out my other videos to hear why. Now, just to be technical about this, Nashville tuning, where you take the bottom 4 strings and you move them up an octave, that is a little different technically from a high-strung guitar. The original high-strung guitars were the bottom 3 notes up an octave, the top 3 in standard tuning. High-strung has come to really refer to Nashville tuning, where the bottom 4 strings are all moved up an octave. So what's the purpose of high-stringing? Why would you want to have a high-strung guitar? Why would you want to use Nashville tuning? The answer is because it gives you great articulation, and particularly when you layer a standard tuning guitar and a high-strung guitar or a Nashville tuned guitar, what you get is a really wonderful richness. And when you're mixing, it can be really great. You take the regular full-bodied deep bass guitar and it's sitting over in one channel, and you take this beautiful high-string guitar and you pan it over to the other side. It gives you a similar effect to a 12-string. However, because there's more articulation of the individual notes, it actually has a little bit more glisten, but without any of the kind of complexities that the 12-string can have. So you can get a fatter sound from a standard guitar with a high-string guitar than you can from just a 12-string. Now, you can experiment with blending these all day long, and that's part of what's really fun. I personally like to have an acoustic guitar that's Nashville tuned, and I like to have an electric guitar that's Nashville tuned, and I use them fairly often in recording. Now, I'm not the first to do this by any means. In fact, Nashville tuning has been around for a long time, and it's been used by probably some of your favorite guitarists, whether you thought about it or knew it or not. So in a lot of cases, the first time any of us heard Nashville tuning was probably when we heard the song Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Stones. So one of those guitars is Nashville tuned, the high one. I always wondered, what is that high guitar? Is it with a capo way up? Nope, answer is Nashville tuning. One of my absolute favorite uses of Nashville tuning was also by the Rolling Stones on the 1972 song Wild Horses. If you listen, you'll hear Keith Richards playing a 12-string guitar, it's 12-string acoustic, in your right ear, and you're going to hear Mick Taylor playing a 6-string Nashville tuned guitar in the left channel. I think the first time I ever saw the words high string was on James Taylor's album Gorilla in 1975, and on the song Love Songs, he says right there in the liner notes, high string guitar. David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, one of my favorite guitarists, he used a variation of Nashville tuning on the song Hey You from The Wall. If you listen to it, it's Nashville tuned, except he, instead of having a low E string, he actually takes another high E and puts it in place of the 6th string. An artist I love, bit of an unsung artist that died way too young, is Elliott Smith. Listen to this little passage from Tomorrow, Tomorrow. that's a great use of high-strung guitar. If you're into modern jazz, Pat Metheny is a fan of Nashville Tuning. You can hear it on Phase Dance from his debut album. Another great example of electric high-strung guitar, or Nashville Tuning, is Johnny Marr, guitarist for the Smiths, on the song The Headmaster Ritual. Check this out. Now you can hear that's not a typical 12-string sound. It's really bigger and cleaner all at the same time. That's because he's layered a 6-string with a Nashville tuned guitar, and the combination is amazing. You know, you can pan them, you can phase them, you can do whatever you want to, and you can really get some pretty immense sounds. So there you go. That's a little example, a historical example of some of the people who've used Nashville Tuning. You'll be in good company if you decide to use it too. Now, this guitar, this is a Martin Backpacker, and I've talked about some of the great things about these little beasts. It's really ideal for high-strung guitar. Now this is not high-strung, right? This is standard tuning right now, and I wanted to show you the difference. Get yourself an acoustic guitar light 12-string set. And what that's going to do is give you a set of 6 strings that are perfect for a high-strung guitar, and the 6 strings that are left over will be a perfect light gauge set for any other acoustic guitar you have. So I'm going to take this little baby and I'm going to restring it with the top strings of a 12-string set, and then you'll get to hear the difference of what it sounds like as a high-strung guitar. So this little Backpacker, you can hear how it really makes the most of the high-strung tuning. You know, it's just got a great shimmer and a glisten. When you're thinking about which guitar you might want to use for your own high-strung guitar stuff, my suggestion is that you look for a small body guitar. Now this is an extreme example of that, right? But this one works really well because it already doesn't have a whole lot of bottom end. And so when you high string it, it just has even more of that high end glisten and doesn't have the bottom end getting in the way. When you layer the guitars, it's your big guitar that's going to be giving you that bottom end anyway. What you want from this little guitar is, or the high-strung guitar, is sparkle. Another way to get that, don't just think you should stick with the regular thick or heavy pick. The thinner the pick, the more of that top end glisten you're going to get from your high-strung guitar. So next time we're going to explore layering a Nashville tuned guitar with a standard tuned guitar so you can really hear some of the subtleties. All right, so there's your guitar discovery for the day, Nashville tuning, or Nashville stringing as I like to say, and some of the ways it's been used and some of the ways you can use it. I hope you'll experiment with it. It is so much fun. It gives you a whole different kind of inspiration. It can be a great songwriting tool, just something that jogs your ear a little bit and makes you think, where could I go with this melody? You don't have the low strings getting in your way, and sometimes it's almost like having closer voiced chords like you do on a piano. So it gives you a different feel and a different kind of inspiration. I hope you get inspired with it. Please subscribe. Love to share more of these guitar discoveries with you, and see you next time.